Pattaya is called the Sin City by the Sea. It's gained this name over the last 50 years because you can partake of any kind of imaginable sin in this place. There's all kinds of drugs that go on, of course, here, and drug rings and so on that are operating in the city. Over the years, as this beach has developed for tourists, it's become divided into sections. These divisions are known by the different kind of sexual sins that are presented on each part of the beach. You know, the prostitute children will be up at, well, they're down at that end actually, and the transvestites, or the lesbians, the gays and so on, all on different parts of the beach as you go up. And you have to be very careful when you go along the beach. I would never go there without a group of friends or my wife being with me, and even then you'll get propositioned all the time everywhere you go. It's very hard to walk through the city without being propositioned. You walk down the little streets, they're full of, there's girls lining the streets on both sides in their really scant clothing and so on, and they're just winking at you and waving at you and smiling at you and wanting you to come into those brothels. And this is the downfall of many good people. A lot of people run away from their families and run away from the problems of their lives to come here to only become infected with some of the worst sin and some of the worst diseases that are known to mankind. The AIDS epidemic, of course, here they'll tell you that the prostitutes in Thailand are AIDS free. Yeah, don't believe it, because your life is at stake. And so we've done a lot of different things with a lot of different people here and talked to them and so on, and really getting stories about what goes on in their lives and about what they're here for and the kind of things that are happening.
So what keeps you in Thailand?
My quality of life here is the best in the world.
If you want to come to Pattaya and drink, it's got more bars than I've ever seen in any city.
Been 106 times here.
It's always nice to see people that are free.
Yeah. Say Bob.
Pattaya is the for a man is the sweet shop of the world.
Well, it's great. Yeah.
What's great about it?
The weather mainly.
I just love the place.
Cheap, beautiful women, sunshine.
In my country, I have not beer. That's why I come here.
Do you like Pattaya?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Many men come here. One lady for go. I don't understand.
They can blow a lot of money in 2 weeks.
Not all the women, I just like Russian women, yeah?
What's the best part about the city?
Pretty much just a bar every second.
And I just don't understand why couples come here.
Not happy, sometimes not happy, but okay, we want. Every lady here want money. Yeah, sometimes.
She too. She working hard too.
This girl needs to eat. She's got kids at home. She needs money, doesn't she, to feed her family? You walk in, you give her money.
It'd be interesting to know exactly how many bars there are in Pattaya. All of the inner city streets are lined with them. When you get out in the fringes of the city, there's just bar after bar after bar. You can tell them because they all have pink fluorescent lights and scantily dressed girls by the dozens sitting at stools waiting for guys to come along to be entertained. But really, you got to feel for these girls that are caught in this kind of a trade. And most of them are from out of the city. They're from the northeast. They're from different places. Many of them have been sold by their families actually into the sex trade in this city because the family sees an opportunity to make money, and the girl doesn't figure out until she's here exactly what she's come to do. And very many sad stories about that. And that's one of the reasons that we really need to look after the young people. We need to minister to the young people and the children, because they have two options when they grow up. They can become something of a leader and something of a good citizen if they have an opportunity, or they can end up in a flesh trade like we see in this city just because of the desperation of their families, of their parents, and so on. But we have a couple working in this city, Matt and Angela. When you think about that, this couple that God would bring from Pennsylvania to minister to these young people, it just brings joy to my heart, because we see people actually being touched and brought back in to what God had originally planned for their lives, even though they have no other way of ever discovering a destiny in God. I mean, can you imagine what it would be like growing up in this city? Your mom most likely is a prostitute. You were born out of wedlock, and your mom's got to keep working. You grow up as a child without anybody to look after you. You're running in the streets, and you get involved in all of the same kind of stuff that your mom and all the other children are getting involved in. It's just part of the culture here. To come out of that and to come in to an experience with Jesus and the light of the gospel, and to be able to establish biblical foundations in your life. I mean, it's from black to white. It's from darkness to light, where they're coming in there because they want to play with their skateboards and they're inline skating and so on. They get to hear the gospel, they receive Jesus, and they get on fire. And these guys are going all over this city and actually all over the nation spreading the gospel. They're bringing other young people like them to this ministry and telling them about Jesus. These guys are out witnessing all the time. They're passing out tracts, actually writing their own tracts, because they want a pure gospel message to come to these people who are not from any kind of a Christian or religious background.
Become a partner today and be one of the first to receive our special edition DVD, Missionaries in Stealth Mode 2. Plus, we'll send you the newest issue of Continuum magazine, detailed reports of what God's doing in Asia. Call or go online to Continuum Media today.
You'd love the crossing. Matt and Angela rented this empty building right beside a big shopping mall where there's this open parking lot where the guys can do their skateboarding and so on. And they painted it with flat black paint and put snooker tables and foosball in there. They got black lights and all kinds of really cool decorations. And it's a real attraction for these young people, because it just is a really nice place to be, where you can come and hang out, and there's snacks there and so on, and they actually sell like parts for skateboards, and it's becoming quite a center. The crossing is an on-road. It's like a door or a portal that people from this really dark kind of life, this dark, sad kind of life, can come in to the light of the kingdom of Jesus.
The crossing is a place for teenagers in the midst of a dark city, where there is nothing for teenagers that want to get out of the darkness. There's very few things for them to go to.
The crossing is the only place in Pattaya, Thailand.
The crossing it's like a drop center for young people.
It's a place for teenagers.
Crossing is a place where they can come, and they not only have safe things in the world to enjoy.
Music instruments, snooker, skateboarding, inline skate, and bicycle.
All kinds of stuff to do here. We have snooker and ping pong, and we have extreme sport, and it's also a place that they can hear about Jesus.
So many people are finding their destiny at the crossing.
And so the crossing is to pull them out of darkness into the light of Christ, and to see them walk in that light the rest of their lives. The crossing is essentially that. It's God being here in the midst of darkness to bring light to a bunch of teenagers that nobody knows about, nobody in the world even knows exist, but God had his eye on them, and he's calling them out to be leaders in the midst of a world that's dying and going to hell.
They come to the crossing and they see the light of Jesus Christ. They discover a destiny.
And that their life is changed 100%. That there's none of this, I'm half-hearted doing this, half-hearted doing that. one leg in the world, one leg in Christ, but that they come to know Christ 100%, and then from that they grow in the Lord, and then they're released into the destiny that God has them.
That's what this place is. It's to build up the teenagers of Thailand.